Can your 3D printer do this? What happens when you combine the precision of a 3D printer with the freehand versatility of a 3D pen? You get results that neither one could achieve alone. The best of both worlds. In this video, I am going to show you a hybrid process that creates unique, complex, detailed multicolor designs without the need for a multi-material 3D printer system. Let's bridge the gap between the digital and the non-digital approaches and make art that would be hard to achieve any other way. Could you tell these were done with just a 3D pen? And these with just 3D printer? And these with both? Here is the one which we are going to make today, and that also uses both, plus one more important tool to which we'll get in a minute. Let's quickly look at how each method handles multicolor to see what their pros and cons are. The easiest approach with a 3D printer is to print with a multicolor filament. Except you don't get to choose where your colors end up. Or you can stop the printer, change color, and finish the print in a different color. Every time you change color, and that goes for both printers and the pens, you have to run the new filament through long enough to clean out the old color. That can take a little bit of time, especially if you are switching from a dark color to a lighter one. Now it's reliably light blue. And this transition just gets tossed. No big deal. Because of the way 3D printers work, building the model from the bottom up layer by layer, let's say I want to print this baby dragon's neck green, as I marked it here with an alcohol ink. When it prints the silver layer up to about here, it will switch to the green filament and print just this little section of the layer in green. And then it will need to switch back again to the silver. Finish the layer all around to here and switch to green again. That will give me 2 color swaps per layer. Since this neck is 270 layers tall times 2 color swaps, it comes to 540 color switches. That will make a pile of waste 7 times bigger than what you see here. But honestly, there are printers these days that don't do it this way. Instead, they have a dedicated nozzle for each color, so there is no waste. However, there are still 540 color switches to make, which will take time. This white benchy took about 20 minutes to print. I cannot even try this 2-color benchy because I don't have a multicolor system. But it would take 6 hours and 24 minutes, or so says Bamboo Studio. Multicolor with 3D printers can be done, but there is price to pay. On the other hand, with 3D pens, you will get a 4-color job done in 4 color changes, because pens can work whenever, wherever. So you get each color usually completed in a single go, doing all the spots in that color at the same time. This coaster is a 5-color job: white, black, dark green, light green, and red. Looks pretty good so far, from afar. The downside of pens is that they produce pretty rough, heavy textured finish on the work side. The side that was next to the work surface is a lot smoother, but still you can see the layer lines if you look closely. The other downside of pens is that making large solid sheets is pretty tedious. But if you don't have a 3D printer, you can definitely do it this way. I did before I got my first 3D printer. By the way, this is the real speed of this pen, if you are wondering. Looking at the results on a light table, it also developed some unwanted tiny gaps. Enter one layer 3D printer sheet. It's beautiful and way thinner. You can see it's also way lighter color, even though it is the same green translucent filament. Here is a 2-layer printed sheet, and you can see the color is already darker. In fact, to get to the same color value as the 3D pen sheet is, it took about 3 layers on the printer. I think the printer is hired for this part of the job. Now, there is another, more traditional way of working with plastics, which is adding some other form of heat. Any heat-producing appliance is a potential tool for this job. Heat is its own method of working with plastic that was here before 3D pens and 3D printers. I made several projects on this channel that are made exclusively with heat tools only and don't even use 3D pen or 3D printer, like this box. I will put a link to that video in the description if you are curious. Heat can allow you to do some very fancy multicolor work, but it also comes at a price. Some of these methods will only work on flat sheets, because if you heat a 3-dimensional object, it will melt into a puddle. That means you need to adjust your building strategy to making your fancy plastic sheets first and then building with them, like with any other sheet material, until you get where you want it to go. So when you consider all these pros and cons, the best strategy is to mix these techniques as needed to compensate for their different limitations and utilizing their different advantages. So let's look at a project that would include all 3 of these methods working together. We'll make a simple multicolor floral doodle to see how this works. As I said, the printer can do the best job on the background, so we'll start it on that, and while it's printing, we'll attend to the freehand pen layer. The pen gives me as much freedom as the more traditional art materials like pencils, crayons, or brushes. As you can see, I am not even tracing my pencil sketch very closely, just using it as a sort of compositional guideline. You can also skip the pencil sketch altogether and work freehand, or obviously trace any picture of your choice. Now I'm ready for my background. I could have drawn directly on it with the pen, but I want to make this project in separate layers just in case I don't like something. I can still change my mind about that part. I am trying to push the envelope here, and I printed just one single layer of plastic. When I did my 2 test projects for this video, I did 2 layers of this translucent green. So we'll see if I can get away with just one. Here is the part of why I like working in layers. Because I have only one layer background, it suddenly all looks so pale, like this picture has lost all darks compared to my test runs. So I could either add a couple of layers to the background to darken it again, or, since the point was to actually test if one thin layer still works, I think I will try to add some darker color into the actual sketch instead. This is a good example of how flexible this process is, and you can really make design decisions on the go as you see what's going on. Time to put in the third element, the heat, and make it all one. I have upgraded from my toaster oven to a new dedicated electric griddle, and I love it. This one is from Walmart for around $20, but they have similar ones on Amazon. It would take a separate video to tell you all the reasons why griddle and why these Teflon sheets. So we'll skip that for now. The links to get them are below should you need them. Set your temperature to 400 degrees Fahrenheit and watch it melt. It will take about 5 minutes. Now it's all fused together, but the surface is still somewhat uneven. So I will cover it with another Teflon sheet and gently rub it with a folded rag to further merge it and flatten it out. If you don't care that it's uneven or prefer that the top surface stays glossy, you can skip this step. I will cool it between two marble tiles to keep it from warping and also to cool it faster, because at this point I can't wait to see the results. Wow! Look at how perfectly the single layer background held up. And it is so translucent. So what are the takeaways from this experiment? I love how the colors blend into each other right here and here. That looks very promising. Any downsides? Well, there are some imperfections around the edges where I didn't rub well enough with the rag, but those will get mostly trimmed, and the rest will give me the opportunity to show you how to fix those. I love how thin this sheet is, even with these 4-color florals going on in there. Notice how the line grid of my work surface shows through. It will also be super easy to work with because the thin sheets can be just trimmed with scissors. So here are all 3 of my test results, the one we made today and the 2 I made previously. You can really see the difference between the 1 and the 2-layer backgrounds. The other side of these will have a very different look because the colors show more. So you will have to make a decision which side will be the top of your project and which one is the underside. Now, here are some veneers made with 3D pen and heat only. We could talk about how these are made, or talk about the tricks on how to make the ones with just the printer and heat. But that would have to be another video. Until then, go and make something.